All right, 5013-1, it was my understanding based upon us cutting out the media. Now we will, actually, there's no need to have the operation and maintenance cost for it. So is there a motion to cut out the operating expenses and the contractual service?
Yes, sir, I'll make that motion.
All right.
This is for the, TV?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
And the concern that I have here, if I may, we're setting up an almost $250,000 department and still having limited ability to notify and inform our public. That's an issue when you're looking at a $2 million price increase for the taxpayers. And it's charter, not everybody gets internet. And you just put me as old-fashioned as the old journalism double minor that press releases have great value. And plus, we all make ourselves available in our districts to go out and talk about people.
The reason I kind of like that, it's not going to pass apparently, but,
Well, it may in council.
well, it might. I just feel like we've got to, I know it's a large chunk of change, that bothers me too, but there's so much information that can be put out that doesn't get out any other way.
Well,
But I don't know, I'm not saying this is the greatest way to do it. How many people go watch this?
Yeah.
I don't know. How many people take the newspaper?
If this were a plus year, we'd
Well-
all be looking at it and.
Well, keep in mind, I was initially a supporter of the TV station, right?
Yes.
I was. And in fact, I sorely thought it needed to be put in. Then I had concerns, and then it dropped, we didn't have one. And then it's now resurrected itself. That's a poor term, but you know what I'm getting at. Well, so I sort of did a random survey. And keep in mind, we only ask a certain subset of people that we know. And I said, how many of you actually watch the city television station? I had nobody but one that he knew it existed, 20, 30, 40 people. Okay? Well, may I finish my comments, please?
Oh, I thought you were through.
No, ma'am. And then I'll be delighted to. I really will. I will.
Go ahead. I'm trying.
And so that was only 28 people. Those were my 6th class. Okay? And these were all people in their 70s, plus the secretaries for the whole department that sat outside. I did find somebody that they said, oh, I knew it. I used to watch it occasionally but the channel got lost.
Yeah, they moved the channel.
Channel got lost. Okay? And they said, I don't know what to look at it. So now keep in mind, that's not a valid sample. I mean, that's just people in one subset, all of them 70 to 96 years old, that watch a lot of TV, by the way.
And they still can't find that darn city channel.
They're not looking for it. But keep in mind, we do need a mechanism, it's no secret, to get our message out to the public, because I'll say it like it is, the local newspaper does not give the full scope of what happens in Anderson County. Don't y'all all agree with that? I'm talking about y'all.
Except for the weekly papers. Those
Yeah.
are pretty decent
Yeah, the
job.
legal paper. Now, Mrs. Ford.
Mr. Chairman, I surely thank you. I think that television station is going to be paramount to what's going to happen in Anderson County's future. Our community, our county is getting larger, it's getting bigger with more people. And the news is not getting out, or if the news gets out, it's not always accurate. Because, you know, like the last meeting I attended, remember I stormed out of here when all I did was gathered my things and walked out. But we need to have some kind of situation where our people can see us at work. The city has it, and it is watched. it is watched. Maybe it's not watched by a certain number or certain kind of people, but people who don't have other means of being informed, like the newspaper is received by everybody. And everybody don't have the technical equipment to find. But everybody's got a TV. And Anderson County could be doing exactly what this young man is doing. He is streamlining the information that's going here now for people to see. But they have to have their tablets. Am I correct? They have to have computers to watch this, right?
Yes, sir.
And see, a lot of people won't even see this because they don't have it. So I think the idea of us cutting that out is not I think it's something that we need to go back and revisit. I think it's something that I'm hoping the county will take into consideration.
Well, county council can certainly do that. This is the finance committee's recommendation, which council does not have to take.
Mr. Chairman, I'm not here to argue with you. I'm here to state how I feel, and I'm here to ask questions of my own. And please, let's just drop it there so we can go on with the business.
Yeah, well, I'll be willing, in my mind, I'll put this on the back burner for now. I still feel like we need to have some way to get out there what Anderson County is doing. I'm not saying that this is the panacea, and it is expensive, but you have to hire a skywriter to put it up in the air. Just the stuff going on at the Civic Center alone every month. They have full agendas. That's just one thing. But a lot of stuff to be advertised, not only for the county, but the stuff that Anderson University's got going on that interests everybody, Tri-County Tech. Things are going on out in Double Springs and Belton and everywhere. That, well, that's all I gotta say.
Oh, well, I have another question.
On the committee. The problem that we have is that we do have a website, and I don't access it, but acquaintances do, and they complain that it's not updated. Our county website should take care of a lot of
It
this.
is being updated. So, it's a work in progress.
I say that, again, I say that a lot of people don't have the capabilities of accessing a county website because they don't have the equipment and stuff. And I'm asking now about the cost. Could the cost not be lowered? Is it going to take all of this to implement? Have we
Research, yes, ma'am.
We have researched. There's no way corners could be cut or.
What did you say it was? I forget. To purchase the.
Colonel, off the top of my head, it is,
50,000.
first time, one-time cost is $50,000, okay?
Yeah.
Then per year, it is around 50, it's less than 50, but around
Okay, so about
50
100,000.
for the year-to-year operation, and requesting 2 people to make it run, so it would have content.
Well, it's more than 50 for the 2 people, isn't it?
Yes, sir, I'm just talking, he asked me about
Oh,
the
yeah.
equipment.
Oh, yeah.
Yes, sir, yes, sir. That-
Minus
One time
equipment.
50 plus 50 plus 2 people.
Yes,
plus
sir.
20
Yes,
people.
sir.
Minus the equipment, you're looking at almost $170,000.
That's correct.
Right.
That's a one-time thing, though.
No, ma'am.
Yeah.
The one-time,
Oh, okay.
And unless-
All right.
120,000.
I would prefer that we look at trying to make our website really updated and
just
more
as
user-friendly.
an aside to
perhaps.
address Ms. Wilson's question, probably in 5 to 6 weeks, the new website will be up and running in 5 to 6 weeks. And one of the things we're doing to address one of the things that you talked about is that it's getting out of date. In this website, every department will have limited control on what they can update as to board members, upcoming meetings and things like that. So they can do that there without one central person being responsible. And that was done to fix that problem.
Unless they're either readers.
Knock on.
So that would be Civic Center 2, they
Ma'am.
can put their Civic
Yes,
Center
ma'am.
in PR2.
Everybody will be able to do that themselves.
Oh, cool. Well, see, that would take care of a lot of the issues, and maybe we can get by another year, since we've got so many other pressures in our budget.
That's fine. I promise not to cry. I'll vote against it. Promise not to cry.
Too much? I'm just sitting here waiting on everybody to plead their case.
Okay.
I'll make a motion that we do not implement the media team this year.
A second.
All those in favor? Let the record show that 5013-1 media summer budget's been deleted in toto. Moving on to 5014, human resources. But were there any questions from y'all for human resources? I had none. Having none, do I have a motion that we move forward to council a recommendation for 5014?
Second.
All in favor? Let the records show that the Finance Committee recommended move it to council 5014 in toto. County attorney increase was for an additional $100,000 per year. I had no question about that. Yes, ma'am.
The really nice thing is having an in-house attorney, so to speak, or at least our on-call attorney, who has the environmental expertise and the land use expertise. He's being required to do a great deal more of the work that we were getting ready to hire consultants to do. And I have no problem with that. And plus our,
Hey, Mike has no money down layaway. Clothes, no money down. Outdoor living.
Sorry. He's handling a lot of stuff.
Sure. He's doing, I think, a good job.
Yeah, yeah.
Do I have a motion?
Wait a minute, I have a question. On the attorney's budget here, you said it increased by
We're proposing
$100,000.
it to be $100,000 increase.
Okay, okay. My question is about the Joey Preston situation. Now, the money that has come out of that so far, has that come out of the budget, this budget here, or?
Yes, ma'am. That's the line item that comes out of.
Okay, but you don't have, okay, all right. How much has come out of this budget this year, just for the Joey Preston thing?
I think about 80,000.
80,000 this year,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? All right, and why is the 100,000 being, why was it increase of $100,000?
It's a request from the attorney.
This request from the administrator, one of the reasons is that the current county attorney charges more than the previous county attorney. His hourly rate.
Plus he's doing a lot of the environmental and land use
A
planning.
whole lot of the environmental, because his specialty is environmental law. So he is handling a lot of those issues. And that saves us a tremendous amount of money on that end. So while that is increasing, it is really saving us tons of money.
Okay, all right, but, and we're still paying other lawyers, to do the Joey Preston.
I think Rita told you at this point in this year, I think
I know,
it's
but she said 80,000,
Yes,
but
ma'am.
my question is not that, my question is this. We are still paying
Yes, ma'am.
other legal, other things for the same thing, right?
She had her own meeting to find out.
I think so. What's that got to do with the budget?
Everything, I'm trying to find out about the budget money, where it's going to.
May I say something?
No, I'm talking,
We were
I have the
spending,
floor.
we're a part of the committee, and you had your meeting this morning, and I wasn't even notified until late yesterday. But on the legal issue, we were spending plus or minus $1 million a year, and you never even inquired. And we have an attorney right now who's doing a lot of the upgrading of the land use and environmental issues for the county that have sat and languished for about 5 years.
Excuse me, you don't know, how do you know I never inquired? How do you know that?
I sat there for 14 years.
No, you sat there for 14 years, but did you sit in on the meetings that I had?
I sat in a
No,
lot
no,
of
no,
meetings.
no. Did you sit in the meetings that I
I'd
had?
like to rule
No.
both of you out of order.
No, thank you, I hush, but going back to your next question, what this got to do with the budget? Everything. Everything. We're spending we've spent over $3 million for the Joey Preston thing, and we're talking about a lawyer here that's got an increase of $100,000, and all that money comes out of the budget. All that's taxpayers' dollars out of the budget. So that's what I'm requiring. That's my reason.
Over 6 years there.
Are you, okay, good. I was wondering if you were looking behind that. And like, behind my back.
Do you have a recommendation about?
So, may I make a note too that our professional, consulting came down 100,000, so I thought that was balancing out.
So you move that we approve 50-15, and Mr. Allen seconds that. All those in favor? We'll do a couple more and then we'll adjourn. All right, 50-16 membership contractual services. You'll notice that it's basically the exact same amount of money from the previous year, which funds dues and subscriptions and our dues to the Appalachian Council of Governments in South Carolina, County. Any questions? We have a motion from Ms. Wilson, a second from Ms. Allen. All those in favor? All right, now we go to building and grounds. 5021, questions?
The personnel request and that just did not,
Let's see, the personnel request, the administrator recommended none. But my question is, full-time went from 510,000 to 648,000. Why?
There were two airport employees that basically all they did was maintain the buildings out there, and thought it was more prudent that they report to Brian Richards.
Mr. Crowder,
So that's all
part
they
of the
did.
transition.
in order to centralize all building and grounds and maintenance, we had two people at the airport who cut the grass and did all of that stuff, and we would put them on lawnmowers and they would ride around and around and around. Now, we send the Army out there and take care of it in a day. We're not adding any more money. Those two people who were there at the airport are now under building and grounds.
Yeah, but they transfer it from an enterprise fund to a general fund. That bothers me. So we're transferring costs to make the airport look better.
I can assure you it wasn't done for that reason. It was done for efficiency
I'm
reasons.
just saying that's the result.
Yeah, but
I didn't say you did that as
that
well.
absolutely would be a result, but that did not figure into that decision.
Yeah.
Okay, I have some questions. I have some, concerns about building and grounds. First of all, Ms. Wilson, I'm sorry that you didn't hear about the meeting until yesterday, but those papers did go out. And every person got one, and it was also sent to the newspaper. The building and grounds, I know, asked for they asked for 9 more employees here. And I think they were cut, they were all cut, were by the administrator?
By me, yes, ma'am.
By the administrator, okay. With them cutting that, and with this man telling me that he has 38 buildings, he was looking for 8 employees to clean. He has 8 employees that cleans 22 buildings, and he was looking for some more help for housekeeping. He needed 4 more people for housekeeping, and he needed 4 people for the grounds crew. And he needed 2 people for landscapes and 4 more for the grounds employees. But all of this was cut out for him, and he's being left with the same number of things. And it seems like he's going to have to be cleaning some more. Whom do I ask about this? You or you about why it was cut, and could it be put back into the?
Mr. Chairman?
Yes, sir.
No, this is, the whole thing, Ms. Lloyd, is this. We have limited resources, and it is a balancing act. And one of the things that we're trying to do is to make sure that we had some money to help people on the lower end of the salary scale. And that's a bona fide fact. And so some things we have to put off for a year, some things we can't afford this year, some things that we just can't do. I can imagine everybody that works for this county, everything that they requested was valid, and they could justify it. I have no problem with that.
Okay.
And we asked them to do that.
Okay.
But we have to put everything in and try to move along incrementally. We're just coming out of probably the worst 4 years that we've had budget-wise in the county, so we're putting things back.
Okay, but what I'm asking you about is
Yes,
just
ma'am.
one thing, one department.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I'm asking you why, with 38 buildings to clean.
Yes, ma'am.
And needing 8 more employees, these are the people who do the maintenance of the buildings,
Yes, ma'am.
okay? Did I ask him how many he already had for maintenance?
No, ma'am.
Okay, I should have asked. One of the questions should have been how many people he already employed. But the thing is this, I don't understand, why couldn't he, if he couldn't have had the whole 4, why don't we put back in the budget the 2, at least 2 people to help him, maintain the
And in
building?
a way, Ms. Floyd, one of the things we did by taking those 2 people from the airport, he now has 2 extra people to use. In essence, he's gaining those 2 people. They don't have to stay out at the airport. They can work more efficiently. Another thing that we have done is we have upgraded some of their equipment that makes their job easier. And we've done that over the last couple of years. That the lawnmowers that they have will run out because we just couldn't afford them. So we've gotten them a lot more equipment. I hired that young man. I think I'm so high on him I can't stand it. But we have to balance all of these things out and try to take care of what we can.
Okay, so you think it's balanced out by them having more equipment and?
I think it helps, Ms. Floyd. Is it a perfect solution? No, no, ma'am.
Okay, and the 2 people from the airport
Now report to Brian. Yes, ma'am.
can also be used.
Yes, ma'am.
And that would be
and that
his
was
2
and that,
people.
they work for him wherever he sends them.
Mhm.
That's where he can send them. But my point earlier is we had 2 people at the airport to cut all of that, and that has to be cut delicately because of FAA requirements, the lights, and all of that coordination. But now, like as I was stating, those 2 people could cut, and it would just take up all the time. Now we can send 10 people out there and get it done in a day. And then he also has specialists, Brian does, who are specialists in plumbing and carpentry and things like that. So they can go out there and take care of all of that.
All right, that's the only question I have on that.
Mr. Chairman,
Yes, ma'am.
on the 2 airport maintenance workers that are
Just
being
talk.
transferred
ma'am.
over, that is $138,875.
What is it?
Well, some of that is related to the raises that we talked
I thought
about,
the raises were all bundled up in
that one account. So therefore, the raise that council gave 7,114 is rolled into that number as well. It's not in the 510 that you're comparing the current budget to. It was in another line item, but now that is in there, right? It's already
Well,
approved.
why they, for some budgets, back into back, because they have.
They're in all budgets, sir. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt, but they,
Okay.
for every general fund budget, they're in one account, one line item
I
at the
know
back.
that, so what brings this amount, $138,000 more?
For 13-14, they're in that one account
Right,
in the
he
back.
understands that, he's saying
So
why.
now they have gotten the increases, so I have to budget those increases in 15-16.
He understands that, he's wondering why there's 138,000. What's the 2 workers that you put in there? The 2 amounts?
Yeah, it
What's the
shows
approximate raise on that? 60, you think? Okay, so 60 of that, and the 2 salaries, what do you think they make a piece, would you think?
At least 25.
From 50, 60, that's 111. So
We can get you a
it's
clear
just the fact-
explanation of
Trust me,
this,
it's just the raises and the.
We can break that down for you.
The 2
That's no
people.
problem.
All right, I think at this point in time, can we just sort of adjourn until you get some additional information?
Yes, sir. I'd be happy to.
Do I have any other, we have a motion to
I
adjourn?
have a question.
We've adjourned.
No, you haven't.
We just voted to adjourn.
But that, you didn't,
You're not a member
that's,
of
yes, ma'am, yes, sir, I am. I just don't can't vote, that's it.
That's right.
That's it.
Well, we have adjourned.
But listen, let me tell you something. Please take the time to talk to the individual departments. I can't see how we can go through these budgets and cut this and look at that when we haven't even talked to the department to see the needs of these people. You interrupted me. They work for us. And before we can help them, we need to know what their problems are. You missed a good meeting this morning. You really missed a good meeting. But to be a bona fide, honest to goodness committee that's going to really serve the people, you cannot lean into your own understanding of things. You have to talk to people.
we have, we still.
All right, now we have Susan's comment.
She's due.
Ms.
Ms.
Fan,
Fan?
you talk? No. You talk first.
Okay. You've heard me voice this before about inventory and equipment. And I'm with you, Mr. Crowder, I would rather see this done locally. As far as I'm concerned, if we haven't done it, and I remember the last time we had an auction, whose responsibility is that to have another auction? We haven't said you can't have another auction. We should have already had some. So to make an excuse and say, well, we haven't had one since so-and-so, is just that, it's just an excuse. The stuff that's around here, that is sitting around here, as Mr. Allen pointed out, it only goes downhill in value. As Mr. Stone mentioned, either that or it gets stolen, catalytic converters and whatever, then it becomes useless and it becomes scrap metal. We need to be getting what we can out of it. And when we have new computers, new lawnmowers, new whatever that are ordered, the other needs to be sold then. And that money needs to come into the general fund. Now, I'm sure it comes in somehow or another, but I never see it. I never know where, when things are recouped, I've never seen how it comes back into the general fund. And all of these things that we all want to be spent on, we would have some money if we used what we have more judiciously. I still think there's a problem with the purchasing. I still think there's a problem with the state vendor list, when the only people that will come forward with the price are people who are on the state vendor list. How do you get to be on that list? What makes it that one company gets on that list and 10 others can't make it? Essentially, it's the same thing that's been going on with the money for infrastructure for roads. We talk about the DOT and about the waste in the DOT. We know there's waste there. But the other part is there's a huge chunk of money that is in the infrastructure bank money that only 2 individuals basically chair that. One was Senator Letterman and the other one was Bobby Harrell, who's now been dismissed for his shenanigans. So my point being is we need to look at all the sources of money, and we need to be recouping what we can. We need to be spending judiciously, and everybody wants something. They all want something in the budget. But if, from 2008 until now, if the boat has floated according to increased assessment of property, and it has, because the amount that's in the budget now is a whole lot more than it was then, we need to take that floated boat money and we need to just be spending that on roads, and all the rest of this stuff needs to just sit for a while. Because the citizens are bleeding to death, and we can't pay and we can't afford any more taxes. Thank you.
Mr. Hart.
I just want to talk about telling the story by the county and the media issue. The city has TV channel number 192.
Oh, I know where it's at. I went finally and found it.
Oh, really? And as far as I know, I'm the only one that's watching it.
Oh, no, I watch it.
Thank you.
I watch it.
So we
There are
have
2 people
So we have 2
in
people.
Anderson County that watch it.
There are
So,
more.
a TV channel for local government is really not very practical. At the same time, trying to count on the independent mail to tell the full story is not really realistic, because they have so many needs and such a limited staff that we keep cutting and cutting and cutting. So they cannot fairly tell our full story. What we really need is a web page that is not just accessible by the people who have computers, but the information in that web page does spread to many other people. Are you talking to me?
Just showing you, you can do it, a web page, you can do it on your iPhone, you don't have to have a computer at home.
Exactly, and you can do it on the
Anywhere.
phone. And that web page can really tell the story, because to be honest, 95% of the people in Anderson County know very little about what you are doing. And you really need to tell the story. In order to get their support for all the programs that you are wanting to do, the people need to understand what those needs are all about. So I hope, instead of just eliminating media altogether, I hope you focus it on a good, practical web page on demand that has some videos that interview you so you can tell your side of the story and let the people access it, know what it is about, and become your ambassadors in sharing the information with the rest of the community. I think this is something that is truly needed.
I concur.
I'd like to co-sponsor anything Art just said. Yeah, very well said, Art.
Yeah, in fact, I really appreciate the idea, the concept of an app, so that people can actually, well, you don't have to have an app, because all the app does is really point you to somewhere, basically, or either collects data up front. But, you know, like WAIM.TV has its app, you go to WAIM.TV. And so, that's good food for thought. I really appreciate those comments. But like I said initially, I was totally for it. I think the constraining things is, we've got people who say, we don't want any more taxes. So in order to get across that loophole, we've got to somehow cut 1,200,000 plus or minus a few dollars, because each mill is about $600,000. Because the current budget is out of balance, not out of balance, but it's technically out of balance by $1.2 million, unless we fund it, plus the $2.4 million of the fund balance. Yes, ma'am.
Excuse me, we supposed to be on
She has the
citizens'
floor
comment.
first.
We have another citizen.
Well, I'm going, but she has a comment that,
$670,000 for the one meal in the general fund, and the other meal actually is a combination of the three debt services.
yes, by all means, please.
Yes.
I apologize, I didn't see you back there.
That's okay. It's
I
okay.
did see you, but I didn't see your hand go up.
Oh, it's okay.
No, go right ahead,
There's no
please.
problem. The only thing that I want to pick up what Ms. Fant said about Mr. Stone, who was talking about the auction. I heard a meeting, he was talking earlier about, you know, they actually let the cars to rot, and then they take it to the junkyard. And what Ms. Fant was saying about the online auction, I believe they should open it to the public as well too.
That's what we said.
Right, have an option where, because a lot of people are not online, just like for my mother, she's not online, but my dad, he stays online. So, you know, to reach a generation, we have to look at the audience that are out there who actually need a vehicle, but who don't have access to get one. So I would say look at avenues in that way to see how can we serve all our citizens. When I say audience, I'm talking about our citizens, because there's different way our citizen may look at a magazine for a car that's for sale. We can put advertisement out there saying, hey, look, there will be an auction for the county that has these vehicles. So there's ways we can actually do that. Another thing that I want to talk about is streamlining. Streamlining our employment here in Anderson County. We need to look at areas and say, okay, well, we got this person doing, for example, 5 jobs. Well, we got one person with 5 jobs. Maybe we can have one person to streamline the employment and say, okay, this person needs to do this and do this and do that, and not having 4 people to do a 5-man job, if that makes sense, what I'm trying to say here. So in other words, what I'm trying to say here, because I don't think everybody understands what I'm saying here. is that you can have a person, to streamline a job, have a person maybe who can do 3 jobs, not doing all 5. You can have 4 employees doing a one-man job in Anderson County. Do we really need 4 people doing a one-man job? We don't. And I'm sure that we as Anderson County had never really streamlined. There's a lot of big company corporations out there that streamline jobs now.
Australian.
Right. Even with my former company, Verizon Wireless, they just streamlined our company. My department got downsized, but they streamlined and said, okay, well, we don't need this amount of people doing this one job. Let's cut that area. When you was talking about cutting the budget 1.2 million, right? We can streamline that. So that's just something I want to bring to the table.
I appreciate that.
That we can streamline it.
I did ask for zero-based budgeting so that we could really attack the performance of the current budget and staff that we have.
Mm-hmm.
And because there is a need for that, because most government to me is kind of like an octopus. It's grown its tentacles way out,
Mm-hmm.
but, you know, we don't need that much. We just don't need that much in order to get things done. While on the other end, there are people who are in some positions that are overworked.
Right.
And so there's balance, and that's something council technically cannot do other than cut budget. See, I mean, we can say we're just not gonna fund it because we can't manage. You know, we can't tell the administrator how he runs his shop. We can tell him how he runs his shop via the budget. But that's it.
That's it.
Yes, ma'am?
Okay, as a citizen, I would like for us to please look at, as we go through this budget, I would like us to please look at the department heads, as I've already said, and I would like for us to please think about the people for whom this budget is being presented, your taxpayers, people who are paying the taxes for this. It's nice to say, oh, we can do apps, or we can do this, or we can do that, but you're only reaching a certain number of people. You aren't reaching everybody, and the number you're reaching is not really that big. You may know this stuff, and I may know this stuff, but she may not have access to it, but she's still paying the same taxes. I'm going to have another meeting on Tuesday morning, starting at 9 o'clock. I'm asking you to please come. All right, did you know about the meeting this morning?
Yes, I did.
Okay, good. The meeting was, like I said, it was a copy, or you were told about it. I forgot what day it was now. But you were told about the meeting, so if you were not here, you missed a good meeting. You missed a most informative meeting. You missed a meeting where things that came out in that meeting, they're not coming out here, because the questions can't be answered because the people who have a stake in these budget meetings aren't here. But at 10 o'clock Tuesday, we will go, I'll be doing the same thing. I ask each council member to do it as well. Talk to these people. You don't know it all. You don't know everything there is to know about everything. And I thank you. Oh, by the way, it does say you might want to read the ordinance in our code about the finance meeting, where it says that any council member can attend any meeting, ask questions, and be involved. The only thing we cannot do is vote. I knew that at the last meeting, but I did not stay because I didn't have any of the information.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
You're quite welcome.
Any other, for the good of the county?
One question.
Yes.
Ms. Floyd, you said 9 o'clock first, and then you said 10 o'clock. Which is it?
Well, I had 10 o'clock this morning.
No, you said for the Tuesday meeting. Is it 9 or 10?
I had 10 o'clock for this morning, but I scheduled the Tuesday meeting for 9
That's
o'clock.
what I'm asking.
Because I'm gonna need more time, because of the council meeting that afternoon, okay? You're welcome to attend.
Thank you.
In fact, I thought you were gonna be there today. I was a little disappointed.
Thank you. Got a motion to adjourn?
You already had
We
one.
did, thank you.
We did.
Is it against you?